when I was in high school, I was never known as a cold person. In fact, I was part of a very large organization known as 495, deep in Everett. I had friends from the north, the east, south, the west. In fact, I had the largest fraternity sorority in my part of the country. And I threw the best parties. I promoted rappers, hip-hop artists, rock groups, rock bands, country, western, folk music, jazz, you name it. I promoted music. I did a lot of things for a lot of different people. As you get older and you move out of different regions, you look back on people who you used to know, and you notice that when you've done something for people or you've helped them out in some kind of way, some people, they're just users. That's all they are. They're just users. And they have drug addictions, and they have really ugly things that they do behind the scenes. They talk bad about you behind your back. And so what I do is I ask people, I say, you know, when I'm on good terms with someone, when I have an associate, a friend, or, you know, someone who I speak with, you know, and they want to talk to me about their lives. They're like, yeah, let me tell you about this. And oh, yeah, this is going on in my life. And I'm like, oh, really? So what I ask is, well, do you have any haters in your life? Like, is there anybody hating on you? Like, can you remember the last time someone pulled a punk move and hated on you? And they're like, well, of course. And I'm like, oh, really? So why don't you tell me about it? So they tell me, you know, and usually they just volunteer that information. But if I'm not hearing it on the surface, you know, I ask, you know, like, so what's up, man? You know, I mean, who are your friends? Who are not your friends? And so I find out at some point. And so they go on and they're like, oh, yeah, I can tell you about the time, you know, this, and that, and this person. I never tell those people, hey, forget about what those people did to you. Just move on with your life. Just let them hate on you and continue to do so. No, I'm not that kind of person. I'm not the kind of person who turns the other cheek. I believe in getting revenge because that's what I read in the Bible. As a youth, that's what I read in the Christian Bible. God helped people who he had found favor in destroy their enemies. That's what God did. God helped people destroy entire armies. And God made sure that it happened. And he oversaw that. And it's in the Bible. And you can read about it. But somewhere down the line, people got this notion, this twisted notion that you can just let people walk all over you and you can turn the cheek. And I've read all these different analyses and I've read into it. And, you know, I've gone to church and I went to church most of my, young life, young adult life. And so I've read the Bible and I don't need for any Christians to tell me anything about the Bible because I've read it, I've analyzed it, I've assessed it, I've examined it, I've explored it, and I've seen in the real world how things work. And I know. So I don't turn the other cheek, and I don't want to hear someone tell me, well, you know, this, and that, because those kinds of people, they have a distorted view of reality, and they're suckers, and they really are. And in order to, you know, maintain your composure and diplomatic status in this world, this universe, you can't just let people walk all over you. You can't let people just talk bad about you, especially when you've always been like me. You know, diplomatic. You've always been a nice guy. So I look at these people who I used to know, and I see, you know, their little snarky attitudes and, you know, how they've been smitten and how they're anal and how they're bitter. And so what do? They try to pass it off on me. They try to pawn it off on me. They just make up these stories. Oh, yeah, you know, did you hear this? Did you hear that? And they just make up these stories and they contra. And, you know, I sit back. I'm the kind of person because, like I said, I used to have the largest group of friends in Snohomish County, Everett, Washington, the Pacific Northwest, Western Washington, on the west coast of the U.S. That's right. In my town, my city of 96,000 people that I come from, I was Mr. Popular. And I was a jock. And I was a prep. And I was a gangster. And I did all these different things. And I was a skateboarder. And I was the high IQ kid with the 4.0. And then I was the guy that used to be the rebel. And I could do whatever I wanted to. Okay? That was me. Okay, Mr. Cool. And then I found out that these people who I used to associate with, they're not so cool. You know, I found out that they're just not so cool. You know, not all of them. I still have some people I'm like, yeah, this guy's doing this, and I see that, you know, he's being a man and he's trying to do the right thing. But I look back at these other people and I'm just like, man, look how fucking ugly these souls are. Look at the aura, the dark auras of these people. First of all, nobody from that area needs to be talking shit about me, man, because I helped out so many different people, man, and I had their backs. And, you know, I really looked out for a lot of people, and a lot of people wouldn't be in the positions that they're in if it weren't for me. First of all, I know a lot of shit about a lot of people, and I've never gone public, and I've never, you know, revealed their different secrets. Like, you know, for instance, I mean, you know, I know things about people, man. I knew this chick, you know, she had an abortion, and she didn't want anybody to know about it. This dude, he told me that he slept with the wrong girl. You know, I mean, it's like, I know all these different things about all these different people, and it's funny how people forget things when you're not around. When you move out of the little circle, out of the little group, when you go out into the world and you do the right thing and you change and you become successful, they look at you and they're like, oh, look at this person. I'm just going to start making up these stories about this guy. I'm just going to start telling these stories. I'm just going to start conjuring up like I'm a magician. I'm just going to start pulling things out of my hat. I'm going to pull a rabbit out of my hat. I'm going to pull this out of the air. Yeah, I'm just going to magically make some things up. Yeah, I'm the kind of person where when I hear this kind of shit that people make up, man, I fucking retaliate. Absolutely, man. You say these little things, man, I plot. I plot on fools, man, who think that they could just talk shit about me. This motherfucker, man, this dude I know, he tried to tell me that I threatened his family. I never threatened this guy's family. Never once in space-time did I. But that's the story that he's telling people, that I threatened his family. He's just a little player hater, man. You know, and I still talk to people who he knows, you know, and people think it's cool, but it's not cool, man. It's not cool at all, man. And you know what? Yeah, absolutely, man. I get back, and I get revenge. Absolutely, man. So, you know, I look at these people, and I listen to the little stories, and I have people inform me about goings-on and keep me abreast. And, you know, I have spies and agents and people who call me and email me and say, hey, Rob, you know, look, man, these people, they think that I'm on good terms with them. And, you know, I just want to let you know, man, some of these people who you used to know, this is the kind of stupid-ass, over-the-top shit that they're involved in. Man, Rob, you think that this guy, blah, blah, blah. Nah, man, this dude is doing so bad. This chick is doing so bad. You know, these people are so foul. They're so nasty. They're so dirty. They're so scummy. They're so fucked up. Their souls are just ugly and dark. And then, you know, they could just be like, they could just accept responsibility. And they could just say that they brought it upon themselves, you know. But nah, they want to make up stories about me. And they think that I won't do anything about it. I mean, deep down inside, they know that there's a possibility, that there's a potential. But they think, man, that they could just make these little slights. They could just make these little, they could just have these little barbs and say these little things and do these little things, man. And I'm just going to sit back and I'm just going to be cool with it. Nah, man. And then, you know, the other thing is when I finally do come out of the woodwork and I rebuttal, and I'm like, hey, man, you want to know the truth about this person? You want to know the truth about this person? Then all of a sudden, these people want to, you know, I'm going to delete Rob as a friend on MySpace. Bitch, I don't give a fuck. You're nobody to me. You never were, and you never will be. You ain't nobody, bitch. And these punk-ass dudes, man, fuck you motherfuckers. Do you think I care, man? Some social networking shit? You know, I mean, first of all, I've been on the internet for 10 years. When you guys were not doing shit with your lives, when you were hanging out at clubs, and I was like, hey, man, you guys need to go to school. You're like, oh, no, fuck that. I'm just going to sell drugs. And I'm like, oh, for real? Well, check this out, man. I'm going to college. Then when I did go to college, you guys want to tell some story. Oh, Rob, man, you know, he be doing this, this, and that. Man, it's funny how people make up shit. And then when you come back and call them on it, how they scramble and how they try to, you know, meet up with different little support groups, little hater support groups and shit. Man, I call bitches on shit all the time. I'm like, bitch, hey, you didn't respond to my question, did you? Like the one bitch who didn't respond to my question on Facebook. So I deleted her fucking punk ass. Yeah, she thought it was cool. I let her think it was cool for about a month. And then I deleted her fucking stupid punk ass. She wanted to play some game. You know, she wanted to delete me as a friend. And then she wanted to come back and re-friend me. Re-fucking-friend me. I said, bitch, hey, check this out. First of all, you took sides with this dude who's running his mouth about me, who's making up stories about me, you know, who's trying to run my name in the mud. Yeah, bitch, you were kicking it with this dude, and so now what? After you deleted me, what kind of audacity, what kind of fucking psychotic mind set do you have to think that you could just come back and send me a friend request and start to tell me that you made a mistake and you should have been my friend because the dude who you thought was your friend turned out to be a punk ass bitch. Yeah? Huh? Some punk ass. Yeah. Oh, Rob, I'm sorry. The guy that, like, you know, was talking shit about you. Yeah, he had me confused and so I deleted you as a friend. But I know the truth now.